You read the title, so before you decide to pull a General Shepard and execute me on the spot, hear me out. So with Black Ops 6 Season 3, Activision decided they will bring Warzone to what it once was. They were bringing it back to its roots. And for a moment, I believed them. I played the Verdansk map, enjoyed it quite a lot actually, until I didn't. The more I played, the more it was starting to hit me. Yes, this is Verdansk. Yes, these are the points of interest I used to love, like downtown, superstore, or airport. All of that stands. Verdansk was a great map. But this here does not feel like my Warzone. My Warzone had a personality, a history, a gripping story. This Warzone has the Verdansk map, and that's where it stops. Also, before going any further, I will state that this is my opinion and the way I personally feel about Warzone. This topic is very divisive, and if you disagree with my takes, we can have a civil discussion down in the comments. If you enjoyed or are currently enjoying the return to Verdansk, don't let me or anyone else on the internet stop you. After all, games are made to be enjoyed. With that out of the way, let's discuss Warzone. This isn't referring to anything in-game related, I'm strictly talking about the release date of the game. Warzone released on March 10th, 2020 at the heart of the pandemic, a time period when we were all made to stay at home and had a severe case of missing the homies, and were not allowed to be in the same room with anyone. That's when Warzone came out. Warzone wasn't just a game for many people, it was a social hub for Call of Duty fans and groups to get together in a semi-new, giant unexplored mode. Back then, we all sucked. There was no meta loadout, no hot drops, it was just pure unadulterated fun. Now I would say people aren't as focused on having fun, but rather finding a new meta loadout to murk the entire lobby with. And speaking of Verdansk, unforgettable too. I am already seeing negative comments popping up. Look, I am fully aware Verdansk is the map you spent time on in the pandemic, where you made memories. Hell, I'm too. I loved Verdansk back then and today. But sadly, the fact is, Verdansk is just a map. Verdansk doesn't make Warzone Warzone. What made Warzone was everything happening in Verdansk. The IW8 engine, the looks, the sounds, the feel of the game that was back then. I didn't fall in love with Warzone due to Verdansk or the Kilo 141 or the AMAX. I fell in love with the experience it provided me with. You know why Verdansk back then didn't get boring? This is why.
You see hostile intent, you are clear to engage.
Now we're talking about something that made Warzone the most memorable to me. Storyline events and the map evolution that followed it. Let me take you back to Cold War, since that is the most recent Black Ops game before Black Ops 6. Does anyone remember Season 1? Because I sure as hell do, given that it was introduced with the most badass of trailers and the most hardcore of characters. The rivalry established between the characters of Stitch and Adler was an awesome introduction into the new modified Verdansk map, Verdansk 84. Now, you can have your opinions on Verdansk 84 and the integration of Cold War into Warzone, but I don't want to talk about the broken metas and the shit they broke when introducing it, given that every update to COD breaks Warzone even to this day. No, I'll focus on the events and the map itself. Warzone used to have meaningful events that would further the story, and the map would evolve with those events. Remember how we got introduced to Verdansk 84? It wasn't just a switch with the integration of Cold War. There was a live event, the destruction of Verdansk, which was just pure chaos. Now in Verdansk 84, we follow the story of Stitch versus Adler, and all of that is happening in Warzone, with every new season introducing new events that follow where we are in the story. We got an introduction with the seasonal cutscene, and everything else further is gameplay. Season 3 brought us the Hunt for Adler event, where we had to do certain objectives around the map to save Adler. Season 4 had satellites falling from the sky, where you had to recover intel from them to unlock rewards. Season 5 you had to listen to broadcasts, and you could find red doors, which again tied into the story post-launch content was trying to tell. And finally, Season 6 brought us the complete collapse of the Verdansk Stadium and the final clash of the two characters we followed throughout all 6 seasons. All of that was going side by side with the content that was released for their main game, Black Ops Cold War. That's why I believe events today are nothing compared to what we had back then. What did we have today? We had the Return to Verdansk event. Alright, I can get behind that. The Black Ops 6 tribute, which was meh at best. And now we have the weeds get high bullshit. None of it makes sense. That's why I believe Verdansk will be fun for a while, but with no meaningful changes to the map or interesting events to follow, glasses of nostalgia will eventually fall off and the players will realize, fuck, I've been playing the same map as I did back in 2020, and it will get boring really quickly. Now, I'd like to take the last few minutes of the video to talk about how I think Warzone could be brought back to its former glory. You don't have to agree with me, and it will most likely never happen because it would take actual effort on Activision's side, but it's fun to look at the what ifs. Warzone needs to have its own branch of developers and writers working on it and making sure it's up to standards. So my idea is this: keep Verdansk and all of that in the mixed mishmash Warzone we have today with the wacky and goofy stuff, pair it with Black Ops 6, and for the ultimate Warzone, bring in a new tab. The new Warzone should have a clear story and a new map to follow it. Gameplay and mechanics wise, keep it as it is now. Problem with prior Warzone iterations was it went into two opposite extremes. Warzone 2.0 with Al Mazrah went too far into the realism extraction shooter game rather than a BR, while Urzikstan went into a total different extreme where it chucked the battle royale strategy and careful positioning in favor of zipping and zooming along with thousands of ways to respawn. Game mode wise, also keep as they are now with the normal BR, casual, and resurgence. Let's say they were to do it now. I am all for bringing Avalon, but you have to treat it like a modern day Verdansk. Not saying you have to copy the layout, I'm saying you need to put in the care and the work to make it as good or better than Verdansk. Make Avalon into this generation's Verdansk. Following the new map, introduce a new storyline. You already started with Black Ops 6 Season 1. It wasn't, in my opinion, as memorable as this.
Adler has some pieces of the puzzle, but doesn't know he's a piece himself. He won't live long enough to work that out.
But it has potential, you can play around with it. Give us a meaningful event that follow the Avalon storyline and meaningful rewards such as operator skins or weapon camos. Calling cards, emotes, and emblems can be in the event, but not as the final reward. They can be on the progression track. Weapons wise, you can follow the current game, but if you want to keep the older weapons in Warzone, you need to keep them on equal level as the newly released ones. I know this next part is gonna seem even more ridiculous given that this is Activision we're talking about, but ditch the black cell and just stick to the free and paid battle pass, since I and most likely others as well would like semi-realistic milsim skins for operators. None of those stoner cyber unicorns bullshit you keep pushing into the store. Take inspiration from Modern Warfare 2019 and Cold War. Those games had skins that weren't just milsim skins, but also kept to the theme of Modern Warfare and Cold War. That would be the Warzone I'd enjoy and look forward to once again.
80s action heroes. In the capital of war, where there are no limits. Only action.
I am fully aware that what I just said has many flaws and problems in it, but it was just an idea I wanted to throw out there to see if maybe someone would enjoy something like that. At the end of the day, this is Activision we're talking about. They aren't gonna change, so we can all just enjoy what we had or have now, because come next release, all of those things we worked towards are gonna be down the drain in favor of a newly released title. I still enjoy Modern Warfare 2019 and Cold War. I will admit I did spend some money on skins in those titles, fully aware they can and will be taken away from me at some point, but I'll enjoy them while they're here. To me, those are the last Modern Warfare and Black Ops games. Neither Modern Warfare 2022 or 2023 or even Black Ops 6 managed to make me feel the same enjoyment even though I tried them all. If you enjoyed those other titles, good on you. Don't let idiots online like me stop you. But for me, it just ain't it. Thanks everyone for watching and stay safe out there.